Hello, and welcome back to the Commander Crucible. Today we have something a little different for you from our regularly scheduled EDH games. I wanted to start a series called Lore Lessons, and I decided to start with a character that everybody loves, but he hasn't been seen in a while. We're going to start with Garruk. So with War of the Sparks release, we've all noticed that one big, and I mean big, character missing. He's been a long-awaited character since his popular appearance with Jace and Liliana, and when he was cursed with the bloodlust to hunt other planeswalkers. So that begs the question, why didn't we see Garruk on Ravnica doing what he was cursed to do? Hunt other planeswalkers. Recently, Mark Rosewater said, "Fear not, Garruk fans, we have plans for Garruk, and you'll be seeing him soon enough." Garruk is a simple man. His philosophy is to live naturally, to be one with nature, and become an apex predator. Garruk is gruff and impatient and uncomfortable around civilized things. Garruk has a unique ability. Once he hunts difficult prey, he connects them to himself to gain their strength. Garruk stands at a staggering 8'2" and weighs 480 pounds. The average human male only stands at 5'9" and weighs around 200 pounds, if that gives you any idea of how massive Garruk really is. Garruk carries with him a massive two-handed axe to go along with his physique that he usually uses with one hand on the lower shaft and another behind the blade. Garruk also wears sparsely placed leather armor with a gauntlet on one arm and boots to cover his entire lower leg, and fur around his shoulders. Garruk also wears an iron helm that has two spikes near the corners of his mouth that point downward, and the helm covers everything except his mouth and chin. In the card game, Garruk starts out as a mono-green planeswalker, but soon moves to Golgari. More about that later. Garruk is from an unknown plane where he lived on a farm with his father, Raklan. Garruk learned magic early on, harnessing his first spell at the age of 10. And soon after, a sheriff came to draft Garruk for the local army, and Garruk was told by his father to run into the forest. Garruk fled for weeks, and weeks turned into years, and years led to the death of his father. Once Garruk had harnessed the nature magic and several large creatures, he sought out the men who took his father from him. And once Garruk found the sheriff, he summoned a giant worm to eat him. Garruk took the sheriff's helm, as he no longer needed it, and returned to the wilderness. And at some point during this, Garruk's spark ignites. So later, Garruk hears of a huge predatory creature called an Ursoth on the plain of Chandalar. Garruk travels to Chandalar to hunt the Ursoth, which is said to look like a giant ancient Onake ogre. Liliana Vess ends up killing one of Garruk's beasts while he's hunting, and causing Garruk to fly into an uncontrollable rage, and tracks down Liliana. Garruk assaults Liliana in an Onake temple, where Garruk soon overpowers her. Liliana is forced to use the Chain Veil, the artifact that she was sent to the world to retrieve. As Liliana uses the Chain Veil, it turns the tide in their fight, and Garruk is simultaneously cursed with black mana that warps his summoning magic along with his body and mind. Garruk's natural magic, being green, is then turned purple along with some of his features when he uses his magic. His veins begin to bulge and his eyes glow a bright purple when casting spells instead of their natural green. Garruk, seeking a cure, then travels back to a plane that he previously visited and vowed never to go back to again, Ravnica, the city plane. Garruk confronts our favorite blue poster boy, Jace Beleren, demanding to know where he can find Liliana. Jace tells him her last known location, rather than being ripped to shreds. Garruk then travels to this unknown location to search for any information on Liliana's whereabouts. So Garruk has been tracking for Liliana for quite some time, and it lands him on the home of the millennia-old vampire, Soren Markov, Innistrad. Garruk first lands in Kesed, where he begins to search wildly for Liliana. He manages to catch up with her in Nephalia, but is thrown off by her summoning a pack of ghouls. Garruk is able to overpower every zombie that Liliana throws at him, but she's not trying to kill him. She's just trying to give herself enough time to run away. The longer Garruk held the curse, the more and more it started to affect him. He became mindless, wandering in circles and yelling at anything that crossed him. Far away on the plain, Avacyn casts a very powerful spell called the Curse Mute. The holy magic washed over the Wild Speaker and dulled the Veil's influence over him. Garruk then abandons his hunt for Liliana for a moment to track the cause of the curse mutant to hopefully cure him for good. Garruk manages to get to a town of Torbach when he soon encounters Audric. Audric was able to drug Garruk and wanted to take him back to Thraben to answer to Avacyn herself. During the journey, the curse came back over Garruk and he became enraged and fought off Audric along with his riders and escaped. Garruk soon left Innistrad as the curse worsened and started to affect his natural magic even more, and his desire to hunt powerful beings increased. Garruk now viewed other planeswalkers as the ultimate prey, quickly forgetting the line between hunter and murderer. Garruk embraced the curse, and with each kill his desire for power grew. Eventually, another planeswalker named Vronos was tasked to bring the apex predator back to Avacyn in hopes of healing him. Vronos was quickly killed after his short encounter with Garruk, who then took Vronos' mask as a trophy to wear on his belt. Garruk again got the attention of the Multiverse beat cop, Jace, who was also trying to find a way to cure Garruk. Garruk travels back to Chandalar to complete his transformation, which would have destroyed the plane. Jace and Garruk fought in another Anaka temple, where Jace used a suppression hedron to stop Garruk from transforming into a full-blown demon. Jace masked himself as Liliana for the fight and revealed himself afterwards. Garruk told Jace that he had enjoyed what he'd become. He enjoyed hunting planeswalkers, and if Jace ever tried to stop Garruk again, he would not escape their next meeting. Jace then heeds Garruk's wishes and left him on Chandalar. Shortly after, another planeswalker came to confront Garruk. He is himself an unnamed user of ice magic, so naturally Garruk calls him Icy. Icy tells Garruk that he'd been hired by Vronos to bring Garruk back to Innistrad, and Garruk pointed out the trophy that he took from Vronos earlier. Icy tried to planeswalk away, but Garruk's reflexes proved too fast and he decapitated him before he could even leave. After this, Garruk planeswalked away, and that was the last that we've seen from the Beast Caller. Now, Nico Bolas does inform the reader in the novelization of War of the Spark that he devised a plan to keep Garruk out of the War of the Spark, knowing that Garruk would inevitably kill the planeswalkers that Bolas was trying to harvest. So hopefully soon we see how big the plans really are for Garruk in the future of Magic the Gathering's story. Will he come back just to terrorize the multiverse and taking out new and old planeswalkers alike? The Gatewatch will have to reconvene to try and take down this huge threat who's just a mindless killer. Who knows? But I, for one, I'm excited to see what Garruk brings. I love the fact that he changed from his original mono green to this black planeswalker that they really have a lot of freedom with in the Magic creative team to do something different than I think normal Golgari cards are. Vraska's already kind of the staple Golgari the Golgari creature, the Golgari type, where she's going to just do things that Golgari want to do, destroy things and create saprolings and whatnot. And that's why I love what Garruk opens the format up for. Just everything that he can be is he's allowed to just be something different because he was changed from the Chain Veil. So I think that Garruk's a really interesting opportunity for Magic R&D, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for him in Standard or maybe Modern. I doubt he'll really break into that scene, but obviously here we want to see Garruk represented more in Commander. And I, for one, think that we're definitely going to see more from him in the coming months, years. Hopefully it's not that long. But if you want to see more videos like this, comment on who you want to see a lore lesson on next and subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.